Do we have any rules around? No rules?
No balls in the house.
No balls in the house, right?
That's not a rule.
That is a rule.
Isn't it like clean your bed?
Clean your body.
Clean your body, take a shower a lot.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands.
Did you know that our friend Eve creates systems in people's homes so people don't fight?
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what she does. Hey everybody, I hope you're staying healthy and safe and staying home. I know so many of you are working from home now, so I thought it might be interesting to have a conversation with one of our Reese's Book Club authors, Eve Rodsky. She's a New York Times best-selling author of a book called Fair Play, which is all about dividing household labor. Yes, and I know that this is impacting so many people right now, including myself. So I have a lot of questions for Eve, and I thought we should share our conversation. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for taking time. I'm so excited to talk to you because you wrote a book all about dividing household labor and how you can do that with your family. So in this sort of bizarre time, I wonder what kind of questions you're getting right now.
One woman today said, can someone explain how to homeschool the kids, take care of all the meals, and also work full time from home without admin support and still be productive and responsive? I had a woman DM me last week saying, how do I get my husband to take the sponge out of the sink when it's wet? From the very mundane to the pretty profound about work-life balance is coming up.
In your book, you talk about wild cards, which are life-changing events that you have no way of predicting. Can you talk a little bit about that?
A wild card is a life-changing scenario where if you don't go back to the table, or if you don't think you can communicate with your partner and you could just figure it out, you're going to be sorely mistaken. A lot of women were saying to me, I can't communicate with my partner about domestic life. It's too triggering, even in a wild card. And so when I started to say to partners, I'm asking for a communication shift, and especially in a wild card, this is the time where emotion is high and cognition is low. We have to prioritize and invest in our relationships the same way we're investing in toilet paper.
Okay, that's so true. So talk about just what are the brass tacks of having these conversations. My girlfriend, within the first 3 days, sent me this list of rules that she has for her little kids. But then I said, what is the division of labor between you and her husband? She's like, oh, I didn't make a list about that. So I think every society has rules, right? Now your household.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the way you play this, how you divide up the labor and how you guys divide up cards.
Women are twice as likely to give chores or to ask for help of their children than their partner. And that needs to end. Having it all does not mean doing it all. We have to invite men into their full power in the home, and they can do it. We treat our home, like you said, Reese, just like the rules of our most important organization, with some respect and some rigor. I'm going to give 2 rules. 1, no feedback in the moment. Why is that sponge in the sink? As much as you want to give that feedback in the moment, write it down. Come back when emotion is low and cognition is high. And number 2 is start with your why. Kate has to be on at 6 and they have to log in at 10. Instead of starting with that, start with your why. You're so divergent in your values over something that has to get done every day. You can ultimately come up with what's reasonable for both of you. So Seth and I decided garbage will go out once a day. He's putting it on his work calendar like it's a work appointment, as long as I never fucking mention the word garbage ever again.
That's great.
You have to invest in those conversations, and you start with your why.
No, I think this is really helpful. Keep checking in and every week. And sometimes the rules have to change or the cards have to shift.
Why the nightly check-in is so important. Because like you said, there's no one way to do a pandemic. It has to feel fair to both people. And how do you get that? You get that by constantly communicating. There are thousands of people who say that the nightly check-in is saving them.
Do you have any tips out there for people who just have completely non-compliant, non-helpful partners?
Burn guilt and shame. What you can do is you grab your spiritual friend That's someone who can wake you up or be with you in a time of crisis, and you hold on tight through Zoom or FaceTime, and you check in with that spiritual friend. And the last thing I will say, again, for sort of the uncompliant partner, is that there is a dirty dozen. And I interviewed over 100 men and women in the past 3 days, and I got, what is the hardest task you're dealing with right now? And it turns out there were 12. Laundry, groceries, meals, home supplies, emergency planning, tidying up, cleaning, dishes, social media and social interactions with kids, watching kids, homework, homeschool, discipline, and the baker's dozen, the 13th, was garbage. So what I want to say is that take everything else off your plate if you have a non-compliant partner and just focus on the dirty dozen.
These are the 13 things. How are we going to get them done? Even if you've never had that conversation with your partner before, now is the time to have it.
And I want to just leave a last sentiment that I'm learning. There is an interesting scholarship around extraordinary moments versus ordinary moments. And when we're younger, we focus on extraordinary moments of happiness. Our older generation, including this 95-year-old man, this one quote from the book I was reading said, his biggest pleasure is just looking at his citrus tree in his backyard. I don't want us to wait till 95 to realize that ordinary moments can breed happiness. And I think that's the beauty and the silver lining of this time. Take time each day to find happiness in those ordinary moments.
I think that's so well said. Thank you so much, Eve. I really appreciate it. And I really value your friendship.
I do too. You are a spiritual friend, Reese. You really always have been.
Hang in there and keep checking in.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye, Eve. Thank you so much, Eve, for sharing all of your wisdom and your research and your knowledge about how to balance this time working from home with your partner. I hope you guys are all having these important conversations, and I'm going to continue to share other conversations I'm having with people I really respect and admire and really help me balance my life. So I hope you guys are well, and we will check in again soon.
Happy, 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 happy. Poop!
Eve!